Two backyards, same neighborhood, same size lot, same budget. One looks like it belongs in a magazine. The other looks like every other yard on the block. The difference wasn't money. It wasn't a contractor. It wasn't even talent. It was 10 small decisions that cost almost nothing, but changed everything about how that space felt the moment you walked into it. A $50 choice, placed in the right spot, can completely transform how your entire backyard looks and feels. And I've seen $5,000 projects that added nothing because they missed the basics. Today I'm counting down 10 cheap backyard changes that make your home look ridiculously expensive. Some of these cost less than a dinner out. One of them, the last one we'll get to, costs almost nothing and has been proven to add thousands of dollars in perceived value to your home. 10 down to 1. Let's go. We're starting with something most people overlook because it seems too simple. Your outdoor furniture isn't old, it's just faded. And the fix costs less than you'd spend on lunch. Repainting a 4-piece patio set costs roughly $20 to $40 in supplies. Compare that to $200 to $800 for new furniture. That's a savings of 90 to 95%. The two products that consistently outperform everything else are Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch 2X Ultra Cover and Krylon Fusion All-in-One, which bonds without sanding or priming. Krylon's 2026 color of the year is Coffee Bean, a warm, near black that looks incredibly high-end on any frame. Here's the part most people skip. Prep is 80% of success. Clean everything with a degreaser first. Apply multiple, very light coats. Never try for full coverage on the first pass. The difference between a $20 refresh that looks like a $1,000 set and one that looks like a $20 job is entirely in the prep. That handles what's sitting on the patio. But there's something even cheaper that changes how the entire yard looks from the street, and most people walk right past it every day without realizing it's the problem. That blurry line where your lawn meets your flower beds. That's what makes an entire yard look neglected, and most people never even notice it. This one requires nothing more than a flat-edge spade. If you don't own one, $20 to $40. If you do, it's free. Professional edging costs $58 to $141 per visit. A spade does the same job for nothing. Cut a 2 to 3 inch deep trench along the border where the grass meets your garden beds. Re-edge every 4 to 8 weeks during the growing season. That's it. A crisp, clean line between lawn and bed is the single fastest way to make a landscape look intentional. It's the difference between a yard that looks maintained and a yard that looks designed. Now here's where we start adding layers. A clean edge and fresh furniture get you halfway there. But the yards that really stop people aren't just tidy. They have something alive about them. Something that catches your ear before your eye. A solar fountain pump runs $10 to $20. Pair it with a repurposed container or a $20 to $30 resin bowl. Total project cost? Under $50. Total project time? Under 1 hour. The key detail most guides skip. Get a pump with a separate solar panel instead of a floating model. Floating pumps make a constant grinding noise that defeats the entire purpose. Moving water deters mosquito larvae and attracts birds and butterflies. You're not just adding a visual feature, you're adding life to your yard. And a $50 water feature with the right container looks nearly identical to a $300 retail version that will have pump issues within the first season anyway. That sound of water changes the atmosphere. But there's a visual trick that changes it even more. And it has nothing to do with buying expensive things. It's about how you arrange the cheap ones. Here's something landscape designers know that most homeowners don't. The way you group your planters matters more than what you paid for them. A large DIY concrete planter costs $30 to $50 to make. A bag of Portland cement runs about $15 and makes multiple planters. Compare that to designer planters that start at $400 and climb past $1,400. But here's the real secret. New York City-based designer Rebecca Formicella recommends always building your planter families in groups of 3s for balance, scale, and texture. Another designer, Ziyu Zhang, explains that height variation is one of the most effective ways to make a small patio feel designed and intentional. And the third rule is subtle but important. Use the same design in varying heights, not 3 completely different planters. Arrange them in a triangle formation rather than a straight line. 3 planters, same style, different heights, triangle layout. That's the formula. It works whether you spent $15 each or $1,500. The arrangement is what looks expensive, not the price tag. If tips like these are saving you money, Hit subscribe. There's a lot more coming. Those planters look incredible in daylight. But here's the thing nobody tells you about outdoor spaces. The yards that feel truly high-end don't just look good at noon, they look even better at 9 at night. And that's where most backyards completely fall apart. Lighting is consistently ranked as the #2 most popular outdoor design element by the American Society of Landscape Architects, with 65 to 98% of respondents rating it popular across survey years. Nothing transforms a yard after dark like intentional lighting. A $200 to $500 budget covers 4 to 8 quality LED path lights or uplights, plus a transformer and wiring. Professionally installed, each fixture runs $90 to $150. Doing it yourself saves 50 to 70%. Most low-voltage systems don't require an electrician, and LED fixtures last up to 25 times longer than halogen. Start with the front walkway and entryway for maximum impact, then expand to the backyard in a later phase. The skill level is genuinely beginner-friendly for plug-in systems. The mistake people make is buying cheap string lights instead. Those discolor after a winter or two, the bulbs burn out at different rates, and the posts people put up to hang them start to lean and rot. Real landscape lighting is a feature. String lights are decoration. The difference shows. Now, everything we've covered so far adds beauty to a space. This next one doesn't add anything at all. It just reveals what's already there underneath the dirt. And the results are hard to believe until you see them. Pressure washing. This is the backyard equivalent of deep cleaning a kitchen. The results are immediate and dramatic. Concrete driveways produce the most stunning before and after transformations you'll ever see. An electric pressure washer costs $100 to $400 to buy, or $40 to $100 per day to rent. For concrete surfaces, use a machine with 2,500 to 3,000 pounds of pressure. For wood decks, keep it lower, 1,500 to 2,000. And never use a 0-degree nozzle. It's too aggressive and will damage the surface. A University of Texas at Arlington study confirmed that homes with strong curb appeal sell for 7% more on average, jumping to 10 or 11% during slower markets. 46% of buyers say neglected exteriors discourage them from even looking at a house. Pressure washing is the fastest way to make an entire property look like someone pays attention to it. Speaking of instant impact, there's one upgrade that takes less than an afternoon, costs under $400, and delivers one of the highest returns in all of landscaping. And it's probably the most underestimated item on this list. Fresh mulch. A survey of over 6,000 realtors found that adding mulch at roughly $340 recoups about 126% of that cost when you sell. That means you get back more than you spent. Bulk buying saves 35% over bagged. Standard hardwood runs $30 to $55 per cubic yard, and 1 cubic yard covers 162 square feet at 2-inch depth. Cedar costs more at $55 to $90 per cubic yard, but it offers natural pest resistance and a premium look. The visual impact is instant. Fresh, dark mulch against green plants with clean-cut borders makes any garden bed look like it was professionally installed yesterday. It's one of the simplest upgrades on this list, and the data says it's also one of the most valuable. All of that creates a beautiful daytime space. But the backyards people actually remember, the ones that pull you outside after dinner and keep you there, they all have one thing in common: fire. Fire pits and fireplaces have ranked as the #1 most popular outdoor design element in the American Society of Landscape Architects Residential Trends Survey every single year from 2015 through 2018. Not #2, not top 5, #1, every year. A basic DIY fire pit costs $100 to $375 in materials: gravel or sand, concrete blocks, a fire ring insert, and stone adhesive. Compare that to $1,000 to $1,500 for contractor installation. Critical safety rules you cannot skip. Maintain 10 to 15 feet clearance from any structure or vegetation. Never use limestone, sandstone, or river rocks. They absorb water and can explode when heated. Always check local building codes. A fire pit extends your outdoor season by weeks in the spring and fall. It's the feature that makes people stay outside instead of going in. And at under $400 DIY, it delivers the feeling most people think requires thousands. The fire pit keeps you outside longer. This next change transforms the ground underneath your entire yard for a fraction of what most people spend on a basic concrete pad. Gravel garden materials cost just 50 cents to $4 per square foot, with DIY installation adding roughly $1 to $1.50 per square foot. Compare that to concrete patios at 3 to 7 per square foot, and gravel becomes one of the most cost-effective ground covers available. The three styles that look the most high-end each have distinct personalities. Mediterranean gardens pair golden or terracotta-toned gravel with lavender and rosemary. Japanese Zen gardens use light-colored gravel raked into patterns, with stones placed in groups of 3 or 5. Modern gravel gardens feature clean geometric lines, one consistent color tone, steel edging, and dramatic plantings like ornamental grasses. Gravel doesn't decompose like organic mulch, eliminating the annual replacement cost. Well-installed gravel needs topping only every 3 to 5 years. Paired with drought-tolerant plants, it can reduce outdoor water use by 20 to 50%. Pro tips for the high-end look. Install landscape fabric underneath. Use quality edging for crisp borders. Mix gravel sizes, larger on paths and finer around plants. Add focal point boulders and decorative pots. That combination, at $1 to $3 per square foot, looks like a professionally designed landscape that costs 10 times what you actually spent. Everything we've covered so far changes how your backyard looks and feels. This last one doesn't touch the backyard at all. It changes the very first thing anyone sees before they step inside your house. And the research behind it is striking. Paint your front door black. Zillow analyzed nearly 1 million home sales and found that buyers are willing to pay $6,449 more for a home with a black front door compared to a white one. $6,449. On the other end, a pale pink door was associated with buyers willing to pay $6,516 less. That's a swing of nearly $13,000 between the best and worst door colors. The DIY cost is remarkable. 1 quart of quality exterior paint runs $10 to $30. Add primer and supplies, and you're looking at $45 to $120 total. Many homeowners complete it for $30 to $80. Use a semi-gloss or high-gloss finish in 100% acrylic latex for the best UV and temperature resistance. The entire project takes 3 to 5 hours including dry time. $30 to $80 in. Over $6,000 in perceived value out. No other upgrade on this list, or any list, comes close to that return. And you can do it this weekend. So there it is. 10 cheap backyard changes that genuinely make your home look ridiculously expensive. And here's the thread that runs through all of them. Intentional design beats expensive materials every single time. Grouping planters in threes, choosing black over pink for a door, cutting a clean edge with a spade. These things cost almost nothing, but they signal sophistication. Research from Michigan State found that homes with sophisticated landscaping are perceived as 5 to 11% more valuable. On a $350,000 home, that's up to $38,000 more. You don't need a big budget, you just need the right upgrades in the right order. Which one of these surprised you most? Have you tried any of them already? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to know what you're working with out there. If this saved you money or gave you an idea, hit like and subscribe. There's more honest outdoor content coming. I'll see you in the next one.